So today we are talking about the process of how we were able to move down to Mexico and just really all the steps we took to be able to get here. It actually wasn't as hard as we thought it was going to be. There was a lot that went into it, but it wasn't as hard as even renting a place in the US. Really, when we started out as well too, we did a bunch of research, like a lot of research.
Yes.
And once we decided that we wanted to move to Merida, we started looking into Facebook groups, and Precious was really helpful with that because she was able to find some Facebook groups of people from the US who had moved to Merida, and we were able to talk to them and ask them questions and really just see what we needed to do. So the first thing was obviously getting in touch with a realtor. And we did meet with a lady beforehand. We met with her on Zoom, and she really just got our names, what we were looking for, how long we wanted to stay, if we had obviously a dog, and stuff like that. So we gave her our criteria that we needed somebody that was pet friendly, which a lot of Mexico is pet friendly, so that was pretty easy. We wanted at least 2 bedrooms. We would have been okay with one, but we needed an extra bedroom for our office space. And we would have liked to have a place with either a rooftop or a pool. And if you saw our last video, you saw that we actually did get a place with a rooftop area, so that was one of our criteria. But we wanted to be close to things that we would need as well too. So we just gave her all of these criteria, and she put up a list for us, and we talked to her back in April, and we moved here in June. We moved here June 8th. So we talked to her in April, and because of how fast things move and how fast apartments get taken off the market, she said that she wouldn't be able to start sending us places until a couple of days before we got down here, which was okay because she was constantly updating the places. But a couple of days before we were set to leave the US and go to Mexico, she sent us like 4 or 5 different places, and they looked cool on picture, but we wanted to obviously see them in person. So next, when we got to Mexico, we had to stay at a hotel for 1 week. It was called Hotel Aventura. I think I'm saying that right. It was a great place. It was really nice. Everybody was helpful, and we actually got a chance to meet the owner. The owner was really, really cool, and he helped us find things and told us where to go during the day to explore. But we spent that week exploring the city and also going on tours to other places to see different apartments and whatnot. So we went with the first realtor, and we spent a day, I think our 3rd day here, we spent a day with her just going around to some of the places. They were okay, but they weren't exactly what we were looking for. One of them we almost went with, but the owner went up on the price a little bit because they were trying to throw in furniture as well too. So it just wasn't really the best for us.
And they were trying to overcharge us for Maverick because they were thinking like we had a big dog.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, the dog is going to mess up the furniture, so we're going to, tack on a price just in case type thing.
Right.
But the whole time, Maverick was with us. He was actually in his dog backpack. We have a backpack that we carry him in that can go on bikes, go on our bags,
Right.
just go on our luggage so it'd be easier to transfer. He was in our bag the whole time, and they never knew because he was asleep. So once they realized, or once we told them like, oh, he's in our bag, like he's right here, and he like set up and looked at them, they were like, oh, he's very, very well, very, very good. So then that's when she was like, well, it was a misunderstanding. The price is going to be different now, but that place wasn't us.
Yeah.
It was nice, as far as that was like our first place together type thing, but we've already been through the whole first place phase, so it was more so what we actually wanted. We knew what we wanted, how much we wanted to spend, so that's what we went with.
We had actually reached out to a second realtor as well too from the Facebook group. They were recommended to us. Her name was Gabriella, and she was amazing. She was actually the one who helped us find the place that we got now. So we'll put her information in the description as well too if anybody wants to reach out to her. She was super helpful. She helped us through everything. She was calling to check on us. It was really a 2 or 3 day process.
Like on a Thursday, like I messaged her and was like, hey, somebody recommended you on the Facebook page. I was looking to see if we can get any help. That was after we spent the whole day with the other realtor because we weren't really seeing what we wanted from that realtor. So we messaged her just to see if she had any different showings or anything like that. And she messaged back instantly and was like, hey, I have a few places. Just let me know what you're looking for, how much you're wanting to spend, and I'll let you know by tomorrow. By the next day, she sent over
6 places.
Yeah,
She sent
like
over
6
6
different places, which this was one of them. And she took us to those places. Like we just met her at like a Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that.
Yeah, so we actually met her about 15-minute walk away from where we are now. And she had us Uber over there, and we met her, and she introduced herself, and she actually had a list of all the places that we were going to go to.
I actually have the list.
Yeah, I think we still have the list, but so she had them in order, and she actually told us where they were in the Merida area. Like she was so helpful. She was able to tell us exactly how close we were to things and where the nearest grocery stores were and the malls, and it just made our lives so much easier.
She took us on tours. She even has times on here like 3:45, 4:15, 5 o'clock, 5:30. One of the places we were actually early to, so she was like, we can either wait or we can go to another place. So on this list we have like 5 places, but she took us to an extra place.
Yeah.
Because we were early. And she on here, she put the name of the place, how much it was, and told us like the different things around. When it came to certain places, one place was like, I call it a Squidward community because it was like all the houses were lined up and all looked the same, but they had like their own little markets and everything. She told us the name of things. She showed us like you should go there. She told us how nice the neighborhoods were, where to get certain foods and certain items from. She showed us those as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. She was amazing, and she helped us so much. And so we did the tour of the place where we are at now, and we instantly fell in love with it. Again, if you want to see the tour of where we are now, the link will be up in the video and also in the description as well too. But we knew this was the place for us, and we told her straight up afterwards, we were like, we want this place. So the main difference of renting in Mexico and renting in the US is there's no credit checks or anything like that. It's really, if you have the money, you put the money down. So because we are from the US, there were a couple things that were different. We have to do 2 months rent as a deposit that we get at the end of the term of our lease. And then that we also have to do first month's rent plus whatever the lawyer fee is. Now, a lawyer fee is because we are not from Mexico, so there has to be a lawyer present. Basically, it's just a agreement saying that we agree to pay for 12 months of rent here, whether we decide to stay in Mexico or not. Obviously, we're going to stay for an entire year because that was the plan. But they basically do that to protect the landlords and the people who rent houses, because if they're renting to somebody from a different country, that person can just up and leave.
Yeah, and they have no paperwork, not any documents like written out. They don't take pictures of like all of your personal stuff that you would in the US, how they have to run background checks and fingerprints and all this other stuff. Here, they don't do all that.
They literally needed our passport, and they just took a picture of our passport to make sure that it matched with who we were and make sure we were actually from the US. A picture of our Visa card, just basically saying that we were allowed to stay in Mexico for a certain amount of time. And I got a chance to meet the landlord and his wife, and he's really cool. He's a pilot. and he was just explaining things, and he really made sure we were set up with like we had the perfect situation by coming with this place because he made sure we were set with everything we needed. He gave us a paper with everybody's number who we would ever need to talk to, the maintenance man, the person who owns the condos where we actually are, to him, to his wife, because he is a pilot, and so basically if we ever need to contact him while he's in the sky, we can contact him or his wife. He made sure we were set up perfectly. Whenever we decided that we wanted to get the place, we got our money together and everything, I had to go sign papers. Now, Precious stayed here with Maverick and our stuff because the lawyer normally comes to the apartment where the papers need to be signed, but this lawyer for some reason could not. So me and our realtor Gabby rode down to the law office, which was about a 3-minute drive, and I signed papers for about an hour, which would have been faster, but I was waiting for the lawyer. We were all waiting for the lawyer to come back, so we were just sitting there. But I got a chance to learn more about our landlord and just learn about his life, and he got a chance to learn more about us. So it was really, really cool. But once that was done, that was pretty much it. Now, with the paperwork, you have to sign 12 different documents, and there's a document for each month. So they have these receipts, basically, and the receipts show that rent was paid for this month. This was paid for, right. And so I brought the money for the deposit there as well too. So I gave that to him, and there was a receipt to sign for that. And then he gave me 12 pieces of paper that I had to sign basically for each month that we would be here. Every month that we pay rent, he brings the receipt back to us. So he has a copy and we have a copy. And that's literally as complicated as it gets. Like there's no credit checks, there's no calling our jobs. They just make sure that we have the money, and we paid in cash, and that's it. So it was super, super simple.
Another thing that's very convenient about paying bills, like, you know, certain people in the U.S. have to go to like a certain office, and you have to go during office hours, or you have to get a MoneyGram and do all this technical stuff just to pay a bill. Well, here we can just go to the local gas station and pay our bill.
Yeah.
Or just call him and say, hey, we have the money, and he just comes and get it. It's nothing technical to where we have to like, oh, if we don't pay it in by 12, then, you know, it's a fee or something like that. Like, we don't have that here. Another plus is we got lucky enough to where our landlord actually speaks English
Fluently
so,
as well too.
Anything that we have that needs to be fixed, or anything that we have that just questions about, he can answer that, or his wife can answer it. They both speak English. They also speak Spanish. So where a lot of people think, oh, I can't move there because the language barrier, I'm not gonna understand. It's gonna be difficult for me to adapt to that language because that's not what I'm familiar with. It's actually a lot easier than you think.
Right, and of course we are still getting stronger in our Spanish as well too, but it was very helpful to know that we were renting from somebody who we could communicate easily with. And that just made it a whole lot easier. Now, one of the coolest things about this place is because this is a newer built condo. I believe these condos were built a couple of months ago. So I believe it was February when he said that they were built. So because he never lived here, he just really just put furniture in here, and I guess
like Airbnb'd it out.
Yeah, I believe he Airbnb'd it out. He used this place as an Airbnb, and then he was waiting for someone to rent it, and we came and rented it, and he basically gave us a 2-month warranty on if anything is broken or needs to be fixed, just to let him know, and he'll take care of it because he hadn't lived here ever. He just bought it and used it to make money. So our first day, we kind of went through the house, and there were small minor things, but literally we told him and they were fixed or are still being fixed, there's no hassle about it. He just lets us know what time the maintenance people are going to be here, and they'll come through and fix it and be done within a couple hours.
Like for instance, we had like a water leak in the ceiling because the toilet upstairs and on the rooftop is right above our bedroom on the far side. If you watch our last video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But the toilet is lined up with it, so the water from the toilet was like getting into the concrete, and it rained a lot, and no one was here to keep the maintenance up. So we started seeing like a little water puddle, like filling. You know, in the U.S., if you tell like the landlord, hey, we got a little leakage or whatever, they'll try like to patch it up. You know, just add a little coat of paint on there and then call it a day. But here, they literally came in and took the whole concrete out. Like this whole place is made of concrete.
Yeah.
They literally went in the bathroom and cut the concrete out, mixed new concrete, and then put it all back together like it is, or like how it's supposed to be. And it literally took a day for them to do that. It takes about 2 days for them to actually like have it processed through because the concrete has to set, so they come back the next day to finish it. But it didn't take them a week or a month, and we had to move out and get a hotel. We literally stayed here the whole time. All they did was come, lay it out, leave, and then they'll come back and finish it, and it'll be done. Like we don't have to wait a century to get one thing done, and then think like, oh snap, is it gonna break again, or are we gonna have to rig it to make it work for the year that we're here?
Exactly.
So that's one thing that's really good. Like once you tell them something, they literally get on it, like right then and there.
This was just such an easy move, especially with us being our first time living outside the country. We couldn't have asked for an easier move, and everything went super, super smoothly. Now, we know in the last video we told you that we were going to tell you how much we pay for this place, or how much we pay per month.
That's the kicker.
We pay 12,000 pesos a month for this place. And when you convert that to US dollars, that's around $600 a month for all of this.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's $600 a month.
A month.
A month.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing for us because our last place we were paying $2,100 a month to live in.
For the same exact size.
It was definitely a similar size, but we were in
floor, but
we had 3 floors, but we were in a major part of Houston. So the price just skyrocketed, and so to go from $2,100 a month to $600 a month has been just
without
such,
roommates.
Yeah, without roommates.
Like other people just coming in and out and just paying bills. We literally paid $600 with just us. But this place comes with water, gas, what is the other? Maintenance. And as far as the maintenance goes, they take our trash. We literally set our trash outside of our front door, and he comes and grabs our trash, sweeps the steps, and helps us with anything that we may need. If we like order water, he'll bring it to us.
The bills that we do take care of are electricity and Wi-Fi. And the cool thing about it is, so bills here are due every other month. So basically, they only charge us we moved in June. So for June and July, and then August we get a bill. And the landlord was very kind enough to show us the last bills. And for electricity, even with the air going and the lights on at night and stuff, the electricity came out to about $20 for 2 months. So that's $10 a month. And the Wi-Fi is always $25 a month. So that's not bad at all. That's actually
He also
very, very
showed
good.
us the water bill.
Yeah.
And it was like $3 and some change.
Right.
If that for the months we weren't even here, whoever was here before us.
Right.
That
So
used water.
So I'm assuming because the water is so low that it's just built into the building fee, which is built into rent. And so the cool way that they have it set up to where we can pay the bills here is that you take a paper like this, which is sent in the mail for whatever utility you have to pay for, and you go to either a convenience store like OXXO, which is very popular here, or you can go to Walmart, or you can go to Sam's Club, or you can go to any major grocery store. You give them that paper, and then you give them the cash to pay the bill, and that's it. So they made it really, really convenient to be able to just pay your bill, especially because Mexico is basically run on cash. But it's so simple to just, we know how much our bill is, and then we just go pay it whenever we go grocery shopping or something like that. It's super, super simple. So that was the rundown on how we were able to rent this place in Mexico. If you have any questions, just put it down in the comments, and we will definitely try to answer them as best as we can. And if not, we can definitely forward it to somebody who knows a little bit more than us. But we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, comment, all of that. Share all of that good stuff. And we will see you in the next video.